My name is Steve Edwards, and I serve as President and CEO of Cox Health. This is our third update to our community and also to our employees about our response to COVID. I want to begin by sharing a story about my childhood. My father saw how enamored I was with athletes and sports, and he sat me down once and he told me that heroes don't wear jerseys, they wear uniforms. They wear the uniforms of people that protect our country and protect our community. They wear scrubs, they wear lab coats, they wear the uniforms of first responders and paramedics, and they wear the clothes of volunteers. This organization is filled with people like that. I walk these hallways, they're smiling, they're ready, they're prepared. They are going to serve our community, and I want you to rest assured that we will not waver. So there have been many changes in the organization and our preparation since we last spoke. I want to highlight a few of those. One of the first ones, as you may notice, we no longer allow visitors in the hospital. We have exceptions for those with OB and pediatrics and hospice patients, and a few other exceptions. This is done to protect our patients and our community from further spread. We do temperature checks of all visitors that are allowed in and temperature checks of every single employee. This is, again, a safety precaution to reduce the spread. We have begun to see some pretty amazing preparations, I think, in a short amount of time, some that are visible from outside the hospital. One thing you may notice is that we have a new large triage tent outside the South ER. This is a best practice. This helps us triage possible COVID patients first and, again, keeps them and the community safer. An amazing thing that is occurring is that within about a day's planning, we have decided that we can build a 51-bed COVID ICU ventilator type unit. It'll be ward-based. It will be done in an emergency. We pray we never need it. And working with general contractors like J.E. Dunn, we believe we can get this done in 2 weeks. J.E. Dunn, being the general on that, has agreed to provide this essentially for no profit. They're just going to pay the laborers and materials. The subcontractors are offering a very similar thing. It's incredibly gracious that our community is coming together to support us in this way. Other things going on, we have reconfigured a lot of our space in the hospital. We do have a dedicated respiratory ICU now, and that's important. Also, we have freed up about 200 beds, really just from having reduced elective surgery. So we have more capacity in general, and we're looking at, again, acquiring more ventilators and other protective services and support for our employees. We have patients that have tested positive that are in the hospital now. There's others that have tested results aren't in yet. I'm very sad to acknowledge that we have lost 3 of those patients, and I can tell you that one of those was a mother of a friend of mine, and my sympathies and prayers are with his family. We have no employees that we've tested positive for COVID, and that's important. That means our protective measures are working. We have ordered 420,000 additional PPEs, the N95 variety. That's the face mask. We're looking at other PPEs as well. That's really important for us to continue to protect our employees. Since we last talked, our community has rallied around the advice of the medical community, and our leaders, our elected leaders, have made the decision to shelter at home. That's a critical decision. All the data says that that's the right thing to do to suppress this. I know many are concerned about the impact on the economy. I am too. But what we believe, if we suppress this, the impact on the economy will be less. There'll be less damage to both the economy and for loss of lives. And I would liken it to imagine which economy might recover more quickly. At this time, South Korea or Northern Italy. And I hope that those suppression methods are the right thing for our community, both economically and for our patients. I want to end with a quotation that might seem a little bit unique, but it's somewhat inspiring to me. It's actually from a movie that Brad Pitt was in, so if you can imagine Brad Pitt's more handsome-looking face, which might be soothing for some of you, this is one of the characters in one of his movies. Mother Nature is a serial killer. No one's better, more creative. And like all serial killers, she can't help but the urge to get caught. What good are all those brilliant crimes if nobody takes the credit? So she leaves crumbs. Now the hard part is, and why you spend decades in school, is seeing the crumbs for the clues they are. Sometimes the thing you thought to be the most brutal aspect of the virus actually turns out to be the chink in the armor. She loves disguising her weaknesses as strengths. I believe that science and medicine and healthcare will prevail. There'll be casualties and there'll be challenges, but when it is over, I believe there will be a new day for us that will be stronger and better. And until then, I ask our political leaders and other leaders to step aside and listen to the wisdom of our scientists and our doctors who will carry us through this very difficult time right now.